all the action and one-up each other in the predictions are the OGN cast of Monte Cristo, the evil geniuses Crepo, and of course Counterlogic Gaming's Double Left. But before we get to today's action, let's kick off day 5 with a look back at yesterday's 5 Group B games, starting with the showdown between Korea's Ozone and Europe's Gambit Gaming.
Day 4 of the Season 3 World Championship kicked off with Samsung Galaxy Ozone looking to right their ship.
Now the blood well has reactivated. It's now Diamond flashes in for the kill. First blood is secured for Dandy. It's now Alex forced to flash over the wall. And that's a 2-for-1 in favor of Ozone.
After being poked down for most of the game, a desperate Gambit forced and lost a fight. Ozone would go on to win their rematch against Gambit without breaking a sweat.
Dandy is the first target. Requiem being channeled from out in the back line. We do see Gambit securing the first kill of the fight as the Bloodwell has been popped. Genji was forced to run away. He was basically singled out by Lupa. This is a 2-for-1, and now all of a sudden, Alex is in trouble. He's forced to exhaust data. He throws out the hourglass, but it's not going to be enough as Mata secures the kill. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ozone have bounced back. They have earned revenge against Gambit. Completely controlled this game.
Up next, Xpeka's Ari was too much to handle in Fnatic's matchup against Vulcan.
Yellowstar's been able to save Pushy for a while. He does flash, gets away from the cocoon. Tower damage is there. The barrier bait is up. Now the tower turns onto Bloodwater. First blood is secured, but look in the background. Pekka's used the teleport. He's been able to pick up one. Now barrier is down. Pekka's low on mana. Zuna dropped to 150 HP. Final rush is going to be enough. Pekka with the double kill, 3-for-1 to Fnatic.
And with the win, Fnatic take a commanding lead in the Group B standings.
Glacial Tomb comes out. Now the arrow does catch Sid. That is immense. There's been no Hemoplague yet. They've traded mid laner for support in mid lane. Now Sid forced backwards. The Hemoplague was out, only catching Pushu. That's not going to be enough to kill him. Psycho Sid's going to be the next victim as we do see the Cell division coming up. Cyanide has got a double kill in the background, and Zuna, the only member of Vulcan to survive. Vulcan calling it quits at 21 minutes, 30 seconds. Fnatic now convincingly in the lead of Group B.
In the third game of the day, Mineski continued to struggle, while Gambit bounced back strong from their defeat earlier in the day.
The slow catches Snoy and Kaigu. They instantly delete him. Knockup lands on the Kaigu. Now he's the next target. That's a double kill for Voidal. Channeling is in Edward and picking up 2 kills on Sona. It's a very, very convincing win here for Gambit. Mineski at 0-5. Gambit holding on to the potential of making out of the groups.
The last time Fnatic played Ozone, they defeated the Korean team in just 33 minutes. This time, behind not 1 but 2 quadra kills, it took only 25 minutes for Fnatic to force a surrender out of Ozone.
Peke comes in to try and clean things up. Lupa going very low. Him and Cyanide battling as there's a triple kill for Peke. And I've got a feeling it's not over. Lupa going to have his passive pot, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. This is going to be the first ace of the game for Fnatic. Now they turn on towards him. Cyanide's passive pot. Dade, he's had to walk away as Imp will go down in the end, and they dive for Dade as well. That's going to be 4 kills for Fnatic, and surely the game with that quadra from Soa.
The surrender from Ozone, and that was another dominating performance by Fnatic against Ozone.
With nothing to lose, Mineski were trying to play spoiler in the last game of the day, but they could not spoil Vulcan's nearly perfect start.
Zuna comes in from the backside. Snoy in trouble. Smithy flashes out. Exo now getting locked up. He's already used his barrier. Can he get away? There's a flash over the top. Mindcloud. Yeah, he gets away as well as the grasping root landed. There's a stun card. TG's a dead man. Sid picks up another kill for Vulcan.
And Vulcan would have no problems on their way to the win, keeping their quarterfinal chances alive.
There it is, he's on the fountain, but he's pulled it nonetheless. Yume goes down, triple kill for Zuna. And Vulcan pick up a very one-sided victory to keep their hopes alive.
Gotta feel good there for Vulcan. They need to take the momentum from this game and move it throughout the rest of the group.
Some incredibly strong performances from yesterday's games, especially Fnatic.
Yeah, I do love me some Assassins.
Yeah, I can't give them 2 of them. And with only 2 games apiece left for the teams of Group B, let's check out the fully armed and operational standings. In first place, it is Europe's Fnatic, who's just 1 win away from clinching a spot in the quarterfinals.
In second place, it's Gambit Gaming, with Vulcan and Ozone 1 game back in third. And finally, there's Team Mineski, who's still looking for their first win of the tournament.
Now, Fnatic looked great yesterday, and unless they lose both of their games on Saturday, they are in the quarterfinals. Of the other 3 teams in contention, Gambit, Vulcan, and Ozone, Who do you guys think is looking the strongest from yesterday's matches? Let's start this off with Kobe.
Well, I have to say, you know, technically Gambit are ahead. They're one game up, so if they win their games, then they're in.
Krepo, what do you think?
Yeah, Gambit's playing against Fnatic and Vulcan. That's not going to be easy. I mean, that's probably realistically going to be a 1-1 record coming out of that. So they actually still have a chance to get into a tiebreaker with Ozone. But then still Gambit takes it, I think. Ozone's not looking sharp enough.
Yeah, I agree. I said I'd give Ozone that one more chance, and they did well against Gambit, but they fell back into some pretty bad habits against Fnatic, and at this point, I'd much rather see Gambit go through because I think they're going to offer better quarterfinal games than Ozone. But Ozone does play Vulcan and Mineski. They should be able to take up a 2-0 there. So I think we may end up in some sort of tiebreaker situation between Gambit, and that will be really exciting.
Yeah, and just because they're playing Mineski, which is like a free win, they just have to beat Vulcan, really. And that should be pretty, I mean, like, I just give the odds on Ozone to go 2-0, but I think Gambit is going to go 1-1, losing to Fnatic, because historically they've always lost to Fnatic, right? So that'll just put them at a tie, 5-3.
Yeah, and also just to talk about this, that all three of you guys have mentioned the tiebreakers. If a tiebreaker does occur, they will play a tiebreaker match. Krep will be very familiar with it, as will many of
Don't know what you talk about, Trevor.
Yeah, many of the guys have watched the EU LCS. But before we get to tomorrow's exciting conclusion for Group B, we do have 5 more Group A games tonight. Let's take a look at the standings heading into those matches. OMG is on top with a flawless 4-0 record, and if they can win their matches against Gaming Gear and Team Solo Mid tonight, they earn a spot in the quarterfinals.
In second place, it's Korea's SKT T1 with Team Solo Mid sitting in the middle of the pack. And rounding out Group A are Europe's Lemondogs and Lithuania's Gaming Gear.
All right, it has been a couple of days since we've seen the teams of Group A on the Rift. I want to talk to you guys about what your key things to remember are about tonight's matches. So let's kick this off with Krepo.
In this group, we saw a lot of the 3 versus 1 dives. That entire early game metagame that was really dominant in Europe a while ago. That's not as dominant in Asia, so we have to see how the Asian teams actually deal with it and whether they learn from their mistakes, especially SKT1. We always say that they have a really good coaching staff, but I'm not sure if they're improved enough.
Well, we'll find out. I mean, I did talk to Koma, the coach, just a couple days ago. He said that they knew about these flaws in the early game. They weren't going to repeat these mistakes. And he promised me after I told him, hey, your guys aren't performing up to what I expect from you. He said, well, SK Telecom fans, you're going to see an entirely different team in the second half of this group stage. So they've got to put their money where their mouth is tonight, that's for sure.
So Monte Cristo just got a ticket for a new hype train.
Well, while TSM is going up against SKT1, a lot of people are discounting them already. I talked to them. They have a pretty good strategy coming in that they formulated just for today. I'm not going to give anything away, but it just comes down to execution now. If they can actually execute on that strategy, it does sound like a good plan.
Yeah, I talked to Reggie as well, and he said the last time he played against Faker was Immortal versus a God, and this time he's going to make God bleed. So, well, I don't know if I buy into that because I think SKT1 has shown stronger, but TSM's first 10 minutes, their early game is shown really, really strong. It's just the fact that they don't really keep up mechanically. They just keep misplaying at really key moments, just getting themselves in these great positions and then misplaying it is really costing them.
They did have really good conceptual play in the early 10 minutes, but yeah, as he said, mechanics is, we'll see which TSM shows up today.
Yeah, that's the real question, yeah, making sure they don't make those costly mistakes and not losing a lane quite as badly as Dyrus did. All week long, we have been picking the analysts pick the winners of the group stage matches, which they've been doing pretty well with some mixed results. Let's actually take a look at the standings of how those predictions are going. At the top of the standings are you guys, the viewers, with an amazing record of 20-5, while the casters and Monty are currently tied for second. And finally, Doublelift and Krepo round out the bottom of the table. Just a few correct predictions off the pace. Before I get to the first picks of today, let's take a look at the schedule, guys. Up first, Nukeduck and the Lemondogs try to turn things around when they challenge Faker and SK Telecom T1. Then OMG tries to keep their perfect record intact when they take on Gaming Gear EU.
After that, Team Solo Mid looks for the first win against a Korean team when they battle SK Telecom T1. Then in our final 2 matches, Gaming Gear faces off against the Lemondogs and OMG battles the fan favorites, Team Solo Mid.
All right, and as we've been doing before every game, it is time to choose your winner for the first match of the day. This is going to be Lemondogs versus SKT. So I want to start with Kobe. Who do you think is going to win this one and why?
Yeah, I'm going to go with SKT. They're players are individually really talented, and Monte Cristo here has just assured us that he's talked with the coach and they've shored up all the early game problems. So I'm going to take them.
Yeah, I'm going with SK Telecom T1 as well. I think that we already saw them play against Lemon Dogs, and Lemon Dogs did hop to that early lead, but SK Telecom took the game home anyway in their favor. And so if they have shored up their early game, they should be able to take an even stronger win. And I feel like we've seen SK Telecom on the rise throughout the group stage, and Lemon Dogs has kind of been slipping downhill a little bit. That game against TSM was pretty sloppy on their part, and I don't think they played with a lot of respect. So,
yeah, I agree. SK Telecom's just probably going to win this because their mid game is so clean. It seems like they don't really make any mistakes, even if they do get a little bit behind, which I don't think they will against Lemon Dogs because their laners are so good. They can still just pull out a victory easy.
Crepo, is it all gone for Lemon Dogs? Where's your vote?
I'm rooting for them, so I'll be voting for SKT1. And I think this majestic analyst panel has said everything there is to say.
Yeah, once again, all four of you guys in agreement. I don't think anyone is shocked by that. Guys, it is now turn for you guys to pick today's winners and stay on top of those standings.
Just